Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be taking part in the standard 2021 Artisan event, and I just want to get this off my chest. I think I'm so tired of how Wizards handle their events. I'm so tired, because the reason you're not getting this on day one is because I'd already prepared a video assuming that there was nothing special going on. And this just immediately popped up. I only knew this existed an hour ago, and I've checked Wizards' official event schedule, and this ain't on there. This is kind of like a content creator first world problem, I guess, but I would really like it if Wizards actually told people when events were beginning. So people like me, at the very least, can advertise their product and, you know, build up some hype for it, maybe. I don't know. The only thing that's really on there are, like, as far as their official announcements, is when, like, certain drafts are going in and out, and the Friday night events, and that's it. They don't ever tell you about this stuff, and it really boils my pee. But anyway, all that aside, let's talk about what we're going to be playing today. I am going to be playing this Artisan Is It Mill deck, which I have absolutely no idea if it's good or not. So we're going to find out today. But there are a fair few cards in the list. Obviously, the build-around card here is going to be Teferi's Tutelage, a 3-mana enchantment. Says whenever you have it enter the battlefield, you draw a card and then discard a card. And then whenever you draw a card, your opponent mills 2 cards. So essentially, our entire deck is going to be about drawing cards and not dying. So we've got a few ways of doing that. I guess we could go into the not dying side of things. We've got Shocks, Blitz of the Thunder Raptors, and then 2 very cool cards. Shock deals 2 damage. Got a couple of copies of that. Not too many, though, because we've got better cards like Blitz of the Thunder Raptor, a 2-mana instant that deals damage equal to a creature or planeswalker, equal to the number of instant and sorceries in your graveyard, and then if that creature would die, you exile it instead, so no graveyards to worry about or anything like that when Blitz is concerned. So I'm going in with the 4 Blitz, mostly because we've got this, and we've got Channeled Force, which we'll get to in just a second. Should mention as well that this is the 2021 event for Artisan, so only the cards that will exist post-rotation are going to be in this format. So there's no, like, Armand Ket Remastered or anything like that. We don't have an event outside of Historic to play around with those fun cards, you know. Bit of an oversight, but I've already had that rant, so yeah, let's carry on. We've got Channeled Force. This one, I'm not entirely sure if it's going to be good or not, but it seems exceptionally good, considering we're going to be drawing lots of cards, and this essentially ends up being some pretty decent removal in the sense. So 4 mana for an instant. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you discard X cards. Then you get to deal X damage to a creature or planeswalker and then draw X cards. So basically we get to get an entirely new hand and deal that much damage to whatever we need to. There's not, I don't think, going to be any planeswalkers to hit, because War of the Spark is not in this format, so no Narsets to worry about. Hence why we're able to play a deck with card draw in it. But yeah, we shouldn't really be too attached to the cards that we have in our hand necessarily. So Channeled Force should deal a little bit of damage. We should have like 5 or 6 cards in our hand most of the time, if not all the time. And if we don't, then we've got Sleep. 4 mana for a sorcery, tap all creatures target player controls, and those creatures don't untap during that player's next untap step. So basically just stop our opponent from dealing any kind of combat damage, so we don't have to worry about it. Short of our opponent's playing, I guess, mono red with burn spells like Shock, we should probably be able to just slow them down enough to hopefully get in enough time to get another tutelage trigger, maybe draw some extra cards. Speaking of card draw, we've got a fair few on the docket today, specifically all of these ones, so let's go down the list. 4 copies of Opt, scry 1, draw 1, speaks for itself. Frantic Inventory, 2 mana instant. The first one is going to just draw a card, the second one will draw 2, the third one will draw 3, the fourth one will draw 4, so it's exceptionally good for that reason alone. Actually, I could put like a Mystic Sanctuary in here, I suppose. Would that be bad for the deck? If I could put a Frantic Inventory on top? Maybe. You know what? Let's do it. I was thinking about that. Just one copy of Mystic Sanctuary. Let's just try it out, because it's a tap land most of the time, unless you have got 3 or more other islands, and we don't have dual lands with land types in it, so a little bit sketchy, but we'll see. But yes, Frantic Inventory just gets better and better and better and better as it goes along. We only really need it to draw cards, just in general, so the more cards it draws, the better, obviously. Cathartic Reunion, we're going to have plenty of cards in our hand. Again, we're not really attached too much to the cards that we have currently in our hands, so discarding 2 and drawing 3 basically just swaps this and 2 other cards for 2 blank cards, and we get that draw trigger from the tutelage. Got the Thrill of Possibility to discard a card and draw 2. Same effect as Cathartic Reunion, but on a smaller scale. We're going to go with 3 copies over the 2 copies of Cathartic Reunion, just in case, because if we get empty-handed for some unknown reason, then, you know, we don't want to be drawing Cathartic Reunions. Thrill of Possibilities would be much more ideal. Maybe it wants to be a different split. I don't know. But yes, we've also got Thirst for Meaning as well as our final card draw spell. 3 mana, draw 3, which is exceptionally good. And then we discard 2 cards unless we discard an enchantment card. So we only have a couple of enchantment cards to talk over. We've got the Teferi's Tutelage, which, you know, if we've got multiples in play, we can discard one of them. Again, we're not too attached to our cards, so discarding them is fine. Also, discarding instants bumps up the Blitz of the Thunderraptor. We got Ominous Seas, which is an alternative win con as well. 2 mana for an enchantment, so we can discard that to Thirst for Meaning if we really want to. And whenever you draw a card, you put a 4 shadow counter on Ominous Seas, and when you've got 8 counters, you can remove it and make yourself an 8/8. You can also cycle away if you don't care about it as well, which is a discard and draw for the Teferi's Tutelage. But yeah, that's essentially all I'm going to go on about this deck. Don't want to, you know, waffle on too much about unimportant things, so if you do enjoy the content, then make sure to like and subscribe, and without further ado, let's see if this deck works. This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Okay, we're in. We have a tutelage, so there's nothing more to say on this one. Are we on the... Why have we got, like, the main menu music going on right now? This game just baffles me every single time. I think we were on, like, the Christmas... What's that over there? What is that? What is that supposed to be? I'm so confused, chat. I was just about to... It's the gingerbread thing, isn't it? We're on the Christmas... I guess you could call it Eldraine. I don't, because I think there's snow going on. It's very Christmassy to me. Alright, well, let's just pass. We'll Frantic Inventory. Opponent's playing Artisan. Not sure what the meta looks like, to be honest. I think nobody really does, so it's going to be an interesting one. I would imagine not many people, unless, of course, they've gone on to some, you know, deck building websites, will really have a specific deck. So, yeah, it looks like the old adventures list. I figured this one might be something that crops up. We're just going to Frantic Inventory so it stops asking me. Yeah, we'll just drop down to Teferi's Tutelage. The earlier we can play it, the better, really, so... Yeah, so that's a bugged-out gingerbread lady, I think. It's supposed to have a fork, and for some reason it's got a paraglider, so... I won't question it. Alright, Teferi's Tutelage down. Draw a card, discard a card. Do kind of need that land, but to be honest, I'd prefer it be blue. So, let's just dump it. Mill 2. Alright, so it's got the Wandermere, or the Vandermeer. See what it's going to be. So, yeah, we've got Sleep for tapping down our opponent's creatures. Blitz of the Thunderraptor might just be best going on something like Edgewall Innkeeper. It's all about surviving now at this point. Since I don't really expect our opponent to be killing my Teferi's Tutelage anytime soon. Not that I could really do much about it. Don't think I care about Ominous Seas necessarily. And I don't care about fogging just yet, so let's just go with a Thirst for Meaning. And we'll discard the Ominous Seas. We really didn't hit a land? Seriously? Wow. Talk about destined to lose. It doesn't get much worse than that. Okay. From there, then, I guess we're just gonna dump... There's Thriller possibility, I suppose. I'm gonna have to start chucking removal spells everywhere I can now. Fairy Guide Mother, yep. Really expected to have a land at this point. At least the deck tracker works, that's got something going for it. It's not so much of a problem that our opponent is actually, you know, card advantaging here. Give me an island, please. It's a Mystic Sanctuary. Alright, we were immediately being punished for that one. So, let's go with... let's see. We do want another land. We don't want to play a Mystic Sanctuary. So we could do, like, Cathartic Reunion, Blitz of the Thunderraptor, or I can do... Because I have to draw a land. If I don't draw a land, there's no hope for anyone. I want to be able to sleep next turn, is what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't think I'm going to die. Let's get rid of the Opt. And let's get rid of... I don't even know if I've got time for Teferi's Tutelage at this point, but I'll keep it for, like, Thirst for Meaning or something like that. Let's get rid of the Mystic Sanctuary. Alright, we drew a land. I actually kind of like the Edgewalling Keeper existing, to be honest, so I'm a little intrigued about its existence right now. I like it. I'm just going to shock anything that gets maybe Guide Mothered or Pump Spelled in any way to try and live, and then we can sleep our opponent next turn. Alright, they're going to draw. That seems counterintuitive to the game plan here, but... We'll see if that's what they want to do. I just want a window of opportunity to get down the second tutelage, I think. Alright, well. Let's take some damage off the board with a shock. Not going to get a better chance than that. Draw and mill, yep. So if I went with tutelage, I would have 2 mana open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could hold open Blitz of the Thunderraptor and be just fine. So yeah, this is this might just do it. Get rid of the mountain. I can't imagine they can come back from this. In fact, they got 19 cards. No, it's not enough. All right. I think next turn we should be able to mill them out between Thrill and Thirst for Meaning, and if we can't, we can just sleep and tap them down. Got Blitz of the Thunderraptor for anything that can be exceptionally large. Yep, so our opponent can go with the Fairy Guide Mother to pump something up, and I'll kill it in response. I don't imagine they've got anything here. I guess, is Veil of Summer, unbanned and available? I believe Cauldron Familiar and Zenith Flare were the only labelled banned cards, but to be honest, with the way that Wizards works on their banned list, I remember at one point, I think it was like Historic Brawl. Yeah, they're trying to get rid of their... This is a good call for them, actually. They want to get rid of that card draw. I want to get rid of the damage. Yep, they had Nexus of Fate banned, although it wasn't on the list of banned things for Historic Brawl. I also don't believe that Nexus needs banning in Historic Brawl because it's a one-of, and, you know, 1 in 60 chance of finding a card is perfectly fine as far as I'm concerned, but they seem to disagree. Anyway, we managed to win. Good enough sign for the deck. I'm going to take that Mystic Sanctuary right out the list because it upset me and I don't like that. So, yeah, let's... don't cross me is what is the main message of this game, I guess. Next game, anyway. Okay, we're in. And again, the main menu music started up. And we've got glitched out gingerbread woman in the corner. Oh, I'm keeping this hand. Oh, Wizards, fix your game. You look so bad right now, and I can't help I can't help but make you look bad every single time I play this game. Careless Celebrant. When it dies, deals 2 damage to a creature. Okay. We do have Exile for that to stop it from dying specifically. I think we actually go for an Ominous Seize. It could be correct to cycle it for the 3rd land, since that's kind of really important, but also I think 8/8 might be a decent shot at winning the game. So we'll give it a chance. Not 41% chance of drawing a land, so can't be too upset. Oh yeah, Anax is a thing. Alright, well we got an Ominous Seize. I'm going to cycle that one because, you know, making land drops is part of Magic the Gathering and important to, you know, the survival of our magical species. I think we're just going to lose this game based off of this right here. This right here is going to lose us the game, so that's all I need to say about this. Yep, we're at 11. And we finally found our mountain. Too little, too late. Well, let's go with an Opt. Looking for Blitz of the Thunderraptor or anything good, to be honest. I will accept anything good. What do you do? Has double strike as long as there's 3 or more instants and sorceries in your graveyard. Alright, well. I'm just going to shock that now before they can scare me with it. I guess I should have upkeeped it. I don't know why I was thinking like that. I'm already playing as though I'm defeated. It is clear to me now. Double Anax, yep. Well, we were going to lose. Absolutely zero doubt in my mind we were losing this one. I think even with a good draw we were probably losing. It would have been nice here to have a sleep. That would have bought us, I guess, a little bit of time, but not really enough realistically. Let's just go with a Cathartic Reunion. Discard, discard. I just want to see what I'll draw. I don't stand a chance, so... Yeah, Blitz of the Thunderraptor is a nice card. But they've just gone too wide for us and we don't have a sweeper, so... Yep, next game. Okay, we're in. On the draw, we've got Opt, Frantic Inventory, Tutelage. We'll find card draw with these card draw spells along the way. We just kind of want to find our red mana for Channeled Force and things like that. So, yeah, we're going to keep this one. It's pretty good. I guess I would have preferred a Mountain and a Shock over Channeled Force. That would make this hand pretty damn decent. Even a Blitz of the Thunderraptor, I suppose, would also be very good. We'll see how we do. It's a very cool sleeve. I do like the Ashok sleeve. Well, we did get a Blitz of the Thunderraptor, and we're just going to tap out here with a... I actually kind of like Ominous Seize here. If you get it down nice and early, Ominous Seize into Teferi's Tutelage is not bad. Don't know what our opponent's doing with the Dismal Backwater necessarily. The Disinformation Campaign kind of stuff has rotated out, so... Let's see if we can play an Ominous Seize. I feel like if that gets down and stays down, the sheer amount of 8/8s against the control deck, which is what I'm assuming they are. Yeah, perhaps they're mill. They don't actually have Ashok because it's from War of the Spark. But it certainly has the pieces. Mystic Sanctuary. Well, I took that out, opponent, because I thought it was bad. I wonder if they'll figure that one out down the line. Well, I do kind of need the Sweetwater Cliffs. But it also does practically bugger all as it stands for me next turn. I think I'll just get rid of it and just settle with my islands. Go for a Frantic Inventory. Just did 2 swamps. Still don't know what they're playing. An island. Agonizing Remorse. Help yourself. My win con is already in play and you can't touch it. So they do exile the card here, which is kind of important, since like Frantic Inventory cares about Frantic Inventories in graveyards. It's not like Accumulated Knowledge. I believe that one cared about all Accumulated Knowledges in all graveyards. This one's just our own, which makes it strictly better, I guess, in a roundabout fashion. Don't know if that makes it strictly better. Depends on who's winning and who's losing, I suppose. Alright, well, we're just going to play down the mountain so that we've got access to our channeled force and our shock. Our opponent will not want to play into a channeled force here because it'll be a discard 3, draw 3. We don't really want to play into counter magic either though, so we got to be careful. Got Heartless Act, yeah. I imagine they've got a lot of dead cards in their deck. A lot of creature removal that probably won't do anything. They're drawing cards, which just purely benefits us at this point in time. Pestilent Haze. All creatures get -2/-2. I wish I could have had a card like that. I guess we could actually just do this now, right? Yeah, let's do X3. We will... I wish it would highlight. Up to 1 creature or planeswalker. We don't care. So we dump this hand. Draw a brand new 3, which is... I wouldn't even say it's arguably worse, it's definitely worse. I guess we at least get the guaranteed... Yeah, they are a Teferi's Tutelage deck. Oh, yeah, you're going down. Scoop now or, you know, wait a little longer. Frantic Inventory. We're going to discard the mountain, play probably the Ominous Seas. I don't know. So yeah, they were the blue-black variant. It's got a lot more removal. Actually might be, in general, the better version, but in the mirror, I would say ours is on top, because ours is very much focused on using Tutelage, rather than our opponent's, which is controlling the board and making sure that they don't die while they slowly Tutelage you out. We're just kind of hyper-Tutelage. So, ours is better in the mirror, theirs is probably better in general, I would say. Ours has got a lot of weaknesses that things like Pestilent Haze can actually do a decent amount against, because we don't have Flame Sweep anymore, which is a real loss for this deck for sure. But yeah, let's go for the next one. Alright, we're in. We have Blitz of the Thunderraptor, which we can get on nice and early. We got our Teferi's Tutelage as well, which we can get down on 3, hopefully. So I'm pretty happy with this one. We're just going to go land and pass, I think. I don't believe, like, tempo is a thing that we have to care about necessarily. Improbable Alliance. Okay, well. We're going to dump the Thrill of Possibility here. Actually, no, the Shock. To look for our 3rd land drop for Tutelage. So our opponent's playing Is It Draw 2, which is probably very... very bad for them when it comes to our Tutelage. Since their incentive is to draw as many cards as possible, and our incentive is to make that deck smaller and smaller. So we actually work as a team right now. Marco Reds is going to help me defeat them. The only thing we really have to contend with is the steady stream of 1/1s that's going to come along. Now then, would they have an answer to this? I don't think there's a reason to not test that theory. I think we just stand to really win this game if they didn't have the answer there, and they don't. We'll dump Thrill of Possibility, I suppose. Mill 4. And yeah, this is where the game just completely gets out of hand. Alright, well they do have Stern Dismissals. That does allow them to bounce the Tutelage. However, our Tutelage does have an ETB trigger, so... it's not exactly the best thing for them. They're actually discarding the Stern Dismissal. That is fascinating. Huh. The deck is also exploding. I don't really want to, you know, continue to discuss why this game is a broken mess, because I think it speaks for itself. Today of all days, it's having a senior moment. Still got our tinfoil hat gingerbread lady over there with the parasail. And the deck is constantly pulsating. Alright, so they've gone with a Lord Drakis into an Ot. We have Blitz of the Thunderraptor to take care of that. And that's probably what we shall do. So we're going to mill them for 4. And while they have no blue mana open, we're just going to take care of that. If they have a pump spell, it's only going to be for 1 toughness, and we can, in response, go for something like Thirst for Meaning. Drawing 3, milling 6. Oh. We will discard land And I think just opt here. We'll go inventory, inventory. That's a lot of cards, and that's a lot of mill. Good luck, opponent. I would say their improbable alliance list is kind of a slow-growing tempo list. It really relies on the alliance getting down nice and early and, you know, over several turns building up this fairy board. They do have Sprite Dragon. Sprite Dragon can get huge. Sleep, however, can make it get irrelevant. That's probably where we're going to go with that one. Got 20 cards left, so we only have to draw 10 cards, and we're pretty much there already. And there's Blitz of the Thunder Raptor. So, Sprite Dragon's dead. They do have neutralizers in their list. I'm just going to take care of that now. It's the only thing that actually gives them a chance of winning here, so let's just deal with that. And see if we can draw a land. Got Thirst for Meaning. Okay, mill 4. And yeah, we just got to draw 6 next turn. We've got 3 here, 4, 5 with the Frantic Inventory. They do have another alliance, so they can draw a card here in many different ways, though they're not really incentivized with 11 cards left. So even if they could, they might not want to. Looks like they don't want to. Alright, so we milled a 4 here. I think I also didn't count my draw for the turn when I was doing the math on how much was left. We'll go with Frantic Inventory first, since Thirst for Meaning actually mills more. And if it's going to get countered... Ooh, hello. Then we'd prefer the inventory to do the dust biting. However, it is all fine, all dandy. Good game, opponent. You are out. And we move on to the next one. Opponent tries to draw and ends themselves. Our opponent, their deck fell over. It's upside down. What happened? Lord Drakis. Do kind of like this artwork. I love the bloom on it. Is that what you call it? It's a bright spot. I think it's bloom, isn't it? Something like that. I should probably know that. But, yeah, good stuff. This is a deck that's been around for a long time. Looks like it's not going anywhere necessarily. I don't know if our opponent generally has a good matchup against most stuff, but there's a lot of tempo to be gained here for sure. So, yeah, just glad that we got down our tutelages in time before they had the neutralizers up, I suppose. It's probably what's in their hand right here, to be honest. But, yeah. Anyway, let's go for another game. Alrighty then, we're in. As can be pointed out by the music that's just kicked in. Can we keep this hand? Like, we don't do anything till turn 2, but we can Cathartic Reunion some of our more expensive cards, I suppose, to find our Teferi's Tutelage. Maybe power up our Blitz. I think this is actually a keepable hand, even though it's got no blue mana. Let's see how we do. So, what are we gonna yeet with our Reunion? I'm thinking I want to keep either Channeled Force or Sleep, and I definitely want to keep Blitz. So I think it's Opt and something else. I guess we've got some draws to decide on as well at some point. So, what is our opponent playing? Okay, Jungle Hollow to lead. Could actually just go with a Sweetwater Cliffs. Or I could discard it. I do need the blue mana at some point. You know what? Let's just take our time. Slow and steady occasionally wins the race. I think it's the Adventures list, if I had to guess. Yep. Alright. We've had some luck with this one in the past. Our opponent drawing cards is to our benefit. So I'm glad at the very least we do have a deck that definitely is in the top tier echelons, I guess. We're going to go with Channeled Force, because I think going wide is their thing. And we'll get rid of... I want to say Opt, and we'll hold up and Shock. Let's do that. Yeah. I kind of imagined that we would fail miserably at finding an island there, and I was right. So they're going to get in for combat. We will just easy shock this. They do have, I think there's a +2/+2 in green for an adventure. A 3-mana spell. Guess they could have had that there. Bell of the Brawl. Other knights get +1/+... Oh, interesting. Alright, so Teferi's Tutelage. Let's start the game. Alright, we do want double blue for our sleep, so... Let's, oops. Let's dump our mountain, play our island, and then, yeah, let's start drawing cards, shall we? Edgewalling Keeper is a peasant, not a knight. Ooh, big Beanstalk Giant. So we need to get Blitz up to like 7 or just sleep the whole thing. Smitten Swordmaster as well. Stuff like that could be a big problem for us if we're not careful. If they've got more curry favors. The curry might be too spicy for us if we're not careful. 42 cards, taking 5, 6, down to 10. I don't think we can take that kind of damage. We could try and go for Teferi's Tutelage to find a land drop, and then the land drop into the Blitz. Are we that lucky? Sort of. Not lucky enough, but we'll go for it. We'll mill 4. I think the key to this victory here is going to be... Oh, look at all them lucky clovers. The key to victory here is going to be absolute turbo mill. So double Tutelage is in probably our best interest, I would imagine. Yeah, going down to 10. Beanstalk Giant. On the Fertile Footsteps. Double Blitz is nice. Okay, so we'll mill for 4. We're going to Thirst for Meaning. Hope to find an enchantment to discard, so we've got some card advantage, I guess. Wouldn't be the end of the world, though. And yeah, going for like a Blitz of the Thunder Raptors, probably what we want to do. They've got Grasp of Darkness in here. Flaxen Intruder is a problem. For sure. Well, let's go Thirst now, because we haven't made our land drop, I don't think, so... Making our land drop is nice. We will get rid of Opt and Thrill of Possibility. And then Hyper Mill. It's like 12 cards or something. Yep, it is 12 cards. So we just need that one big card draw spell soon enough. We're at 20, so we need to draw 10 more cards to win this game. We've got Blitz on Bell of the Brawl to get rid of a knight on the table that also pumps other knights, so that's pretty useful for us. I guess we're just gonna... When do we want to do this? I guess we could pass and see what they do. If they go for like a curry favor, they're going to want to do that with max knights on the table. They just went straight to combat though, so we'll just pick that off and exile it. Taking 3. As long as we keep the big stuff off the board, we should be okay. Flaxen Intruder. Not ideal. But we do have a sleep for that, so we're going to mill 4. Down to 13. We can cycle Ominous Seas. Get a land, unfortunately. Mill 4. I think we just have to go for a sleep here. Tap our opponent's creatures. And they don't untap. We're going to keep the island in case of Cathartic Reunions. And our opponents had enough. I think they realized that one good card draw spell was enough for us there, and apparently the 8 damage was not good. Yeah, we only had to draw a couple of cards to get that one going. Each card draw is worth 4, so we had to draw 2 cards. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Alright guys, well that is gonna do it for today's video. I think the overall verdict on this deck is, 1, it's a lot of fun, and it's cheap, because it's Artisan. Duh. But I would say that other than the adventures list, which we did see a lot today actually, I would say there's a lot of bad matchups for this. Considering that this format doesn't actually have a sweeper in blue or red, which doesn't do us very many favors. The Rada, got a deck with that one coming up soon enough. Yeah, maybe you could tool it a little bit more into dealing with creatures as you go along. More shocks, perhaps, and things like that. I wasn't overly impressed on Channel Force, to be honest. So I think I would probably go down Channel Force. And it would either, if you wanted to go more in on the plan, I would probably go up maybe a 3 and 3 for Cathartic Reunion and Thriller possibility, because I think these draw 3s are actually very important. But if you wanted to skew it a little bit more towards keeping the game going, maybe some more shocks, maybe some fewer Ominous Seas, to be honest. Thirst for Meaning is nice and all, but yeah, it's not so nice when you discard 2 necessarily. So the Ominous Seas there just being discard fodder is, I don't know, it's a little weird. I don't know. But yeah, tool this however you see fit anyway. This is what I like to do. I like to make decks that can be tweaked by the viewership. So if you want to tweak it, go right ahead. Link is down in the description. Would appreciate it though if you did enjoy the video to hit that like button and subscribe as well for more content like this in the future. I don't know how long this Artisan event is going because Wizards won't tell me and I didn't know it existed until today. So I don't know. We might come back and do another one. I've got a couple of ideas for this format. Some that are kind of returning ideas because, you know, it's not that wide of a format. It's a 2021 Artisan, so it's, you know, a little bit difficult to make truly original content with it, but I've got a couple of ideas that you don't really see on the ladder very often that I'd like to test out and see how they do. So if you do like that kind of thing, hit that bell icon. You'll get notifications when those videos go live in the future. Other than that, hope you've all enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.